Since I messed up Vincent Caracciolo's name so bad in the intro video, I decided to make one specifically about him. While researching stories about this crew known as the Family and Caracciolo's brutal role as an enforcer during the 1970s and 80s, I assumed that he was probably from out of town, maybe Pittsburgh, New Jersey. Turns out he was actually raised in Altoona. I haven't found a birth record for him yet, but I did locate many newspaper articles showing his roots in Altoona, growing up there, going to Altoona High School, and more. According to Caracciolo's state prison record, he was born on June 16, 1935. Looking at the arrest photos of Caracciolo, he appears to be a large guy, but he's actually only 5 foot 5 inches tall.
What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
There are a few confusing newspaper articles which lead me to believe that there might have been two Vincent Caracciolos in Altoona, and there is also a few indicating junior and senior. 1951 is the first article indicating a middle name of Donato, which confirms that it is the same Vincent Caracciolo from the Family. Vincent is listed for the 1951 fall semester of Altoona High School. A year later, in 1952, Vincent was listed as 17 years old, living at 1127 Taylor Avenue when he was in a car crash on Pleasant Valley, while driving a car owned by Thomas Rickabaugh of 1419 Walnut Avenue. The license plates were illegal. A 1953 article shows Vincent's class assignment at Altoona High School. In 1954, Vincent was given the Gold Slippers Award as the track team manager. The June 3rd, 1954 Altoona Tribune lists Vincent as one of 593 graduating that year at the Jaffa Mosque. The class of 1954 yearbook shows Vincent not looking anything like the mob enforcer he is about to become. It indicates that he participated in track, cross-country, basketball his senior year. He likes pizza and often says, check. Within 3 years of graduating Altoona High School, Vincent would start catching charges, such as this contributing to the delinquency of minors charge in 1957. I couldn't find much information on what Vincent was up to in the 1960s, but at some point he met John Varilla and John Caramadre, and in 1976 they formed the Family at Caramadre's apartment. Varilla entered a real estate partnership with Caracciolo that they called Roma Enterprises. This crew would soon recruit Altoona resident Marvin Wansley, who was already familiar with criminal activities such as a 1974 shooting when he was 21 years old. Marvin would eventually adopt the nickname Wax, and on January 23, 1979, Marvin Wax Wansley, along with Caracciolo, Howard Tony Hugger, Joseph Martino, would convince 57-year-old John Clark to drive with them to Mineral Point in Cambria County for a payday. Clark would be struck in the head with an axe by then 46-year-old Caracciolo and burned in his car. Caracciolo was living in the 1700 block of 3rd Avenue at that time. A few months later, in 1980, Marvin Wansley would start wearing a recording device for Pennsylvania State Police detectives. Wansley met with Varilla and Caracciolo in December of 1981 with his recorder running. Caracciolo could be heard telling Wansley, "Whoever turns is dead. You know, if you panic, I can't let you go in court." Varilla told Wansley that he planned to remain silent during the grand jury and accept the jail term for contempt rather than risk being killed for talking. Caracciolo and Varilla could be heard on the recordings discussing the murder of an Altoona man, the burning of a restaurant, and the robbery of a doctor. Varilla could be heard telling Wansley, "Admit nothing. Once you do, you're done." Caracciolo can be heard stating, "I've got $250,000 in the bank for a good lawyer. I've been laying low until this thing blows over. The heat is on, but they really don't know anything." Wansley can be heard stating that he was scared. The voice was heard asking, "Whose side are you on? Remember that we took care of your family. You love your son, don't you? Remember those gifts he got?" The voice then turned angry and stated, "Whoever turns against us is dead. It's all set up. I've been to Pittsburgh and Philadelphia and we're ready. Don't undersell us. You don't realize how much power we all have in the country." The voice stated, "Joe's gone. He's left town. He must be their star witness. Is he the rat? We have friends on the police force. We'll find him. I'll choke him 10 times myself if I have to." The voice then stated that he had been visiting with friends in prisons all over the state. He also stated that they can't hide on the streets either. Several references were made to at least 3 unsolved homicides in Blair County. The grand jury also planned to probe these 3 additional professional-style homicides that have occurred here in the past 3 years, including the body of informant Dennis Hillman that was found floating in the Tipton Reservoir, December 26, 1979, Francis Misitano found by hunters with a gunshot to the head, and another male shot several times in the head found inside the door of his apartment. In April of 1982, Varilla and Caracciolo were both charged with tampering with a grand jury witness. Once Caracciolo found out that Wansley had been recording everything and then Varilla threatened to kill his girlfriend, he decided to turn state witness and start talking. A July 1983 Tyrone Herald indicated that Caracciolo took the witness stand, stating that Clark was killed because he threatened to go to the police about their kidnapping and mutilation of Joseph McDermott. He did 30 years in the state pen and appears to be living a normal life with a job in his own house at age 61.